Welcome to the flip side, one and all. Yes, today we are going to make our way over to that flip side of information on this. What do we have here? 7:10 a.m. Saturday, May 24th, 2025. And yes, I am using my Canon camera. And we are looking at my phone right here as we are going to be examining a few things pertaining to this so-called holiday that is coming up on Monday, which is Memorial Day. The observance of Memorial Day on Monday, which is a floating holiday. I do not care for floating holidays because it seems quite deceptive, if you will. Now then, once again, I do not have a pause to this camera, so I will be shutting off the recordings and I will be splicing together some of this information from this flip side of reality. Now, first and foremost, report was made this morning from NOAA, NOAA, that this hurricane season of 2025 is going to be quite the ramp up of hurricanes. Just something to look forward to. Furthermore, we now have a president that basically signed, I don't know, an executive order, an act, or whatever, but basically he has declared that we are now in war or at war with China. No, this is not that scenario of bombs and tanks and jet fighters and battleships and all. Not yet. No, this is a war over AI, arms, and so on and so forth. At war with China over artificial intelligence. Right away when I heard this, that brought up the thoughts of World War II and Russia and Germany with their battle within the war over tanks. Who could build the bigger and badder tank for the battlefield? And I got up to, super tanks, right? So if we use that as a lesson from the past and what outcomes came about from this super tanker, or super tank, not tanker, but tank battle between Russia and Germany, then we should also be able to find similarities and outcomes, possible outcomes, for this future war between who can build the bigger and badder AI system. Well, you know what? To me, once again, you're dealing with something and nothing, and it's more nothing than something. Artificial intelligence, I don't think it should be messed around with at all, and I think it should be taken down. And yes, I am speaking in regards to like the AI system that this platform uses. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, because we are speaking of World War II, and we have this make-believe holiday known as Memorial Day that will be celebrated within next couple of days. Just like most holidays anymore, they're not of traditional values. No, they're just, a scapegoat to skip a day of work, have a day off, get drunk, watch sports. You know, it's the same as almost any other holiday anymore. You know, there's no real traditional values of celebration. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and provide a little bit further evidence into this. And once again, this is coming from the flip side of reality. Okay? Because now we have kind of stepped into it with this so-called holiday. Let me explain from here. Okay, so as most of you might already know, my birthday is coming up, or my birth date celebration, or excuse me, once again, my birth date anniversary celebration is coming up Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. I will be turning 58 years old. And 9 months, give or take, depending on your viewpoints over conception and birth. Okay? Because there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, no, 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 no. You know, because you were actually created during that point of conception. So you have to add that in with your actual age. So, okay, I'll be 58 years old and 8, 9 months, right around there, whatever, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on, and we're going to go dark here for a moment. And I have my fan running in the background. This is not going to be nothing great as far as recording, but let's go ahead and go back to my phone here, and okay, there we go. Sorry for this. You know, once again, I am using my Canon camera, no pause. It gets quite irritating. Anyways, this is our Google weather notification here of our weather today, in which once again we are getting this, okay, sunny in the morning with a little bit of cloudiness, and then increasing cloudiness throughout the day. All right, now I am very upset because, okay, and here we are at 7:18 a.m. Okay, once again, I have been noticing AI has infiltrated my phone. There's been many signs of this. Okay, one of those signs, well, not only, okay, first and foremost, well, you might even be able to see here. Okay, my screen now is, you know, I can only have the brightness of the lighting up for so long because it is burning images into my screen. Okay, you might be able to see that right in here. Okay, and that's because my phone has been getting very hot here lately, and a lot of what I do is very slow. Okay, now let's go ahead and go right here, because I seen this come up on my feed yesterday, and I really like this. Okay, and what it says here, one image can say so much. And here you have your 5G pole, you got the chemtrails in the back, and you also have some like wave action kicking off over here. Once again, we are seeing some, you know, burned images into my screen, which they do fade away eventually. Okay, so that was kind of neat. Okay, now if you look here, you will see that I've got a few different files here of my recordings and screenshots and photos. Okay, with this May 23rd and what all I have here, which is only 4 videos, it would not allow me to move these from camera to this file here, which I began on May 12th of this year. It would not let me move these files to this file here, whereas I never had any issue with that previously before last couple of days. Okay, this is AI doing, why it's doing this, I have no idea. I even went through and updated all of my apps and everything, and even with screenshots now I have to have 2 separate files or screenshots and pics. Okay? It would not let me transfer these 3 screenshots here over to this file here, in which, of course, this is screenshots from a lot of my past recordings to where I put together that slideshow. Okay? And thing is, it would not let me transfer any other files to this file, so I had to set up a new file. Very upsetting. Okay? And with this little indicator or icon right here, all that means is that it is on my memory or SD card. Whereas right here, you see these screenshots does not have that icon because it is within my phone's storage and not on the SD or memory card. Okay, now eventually I will be transferring these screenshots here to my screenshots and picture files. But will I have to start up yet another file? I don't know yet. But let's go ahead and continue on because this is quite fascinating. Okay, once again, we are going to this so-called Memorial Day holiday. And because my birthday is coming up on Tuesday, May 27th, we need to kind of connect some dots here. So let's go ahead and do that, so you actually understand what we got going on here. Okay, so right here it states, in 2025, Memorial Day is on Monday, May 26th, making Memorial Day weekend from Saturday, May 24th to Monday, May 26th. While Memorial Day is typically the last Monday in May, it can sometimes fall earlier. In 2008 and 2014, Memorial Day also occurred on May 26th. Okay, now then, here comes the flip side of reality when it comes down to this holiday. The last time Memorial Day weekend occurred before May 27th was when? In 2025. Think about that. The last time Memorial Day weekend occurred before May 27th was in 2025. This has not yet occurred. Okay? Now let's go just a little bit further. Okay? So we can go, well, what year was Memorial Day on May 27th? Okay, so we go on down, and it gives us, you know, and there's quite a few pages to this, okay? And once again, this is going from 1971 to the future of 2037. 2037. I believe I have brought that year up before, because is that not the year that Elon Musk has brought up? Correct me if I'm wrong. But let's continue. Okay, so when did it occur on May 27th? 1974, common year, week 21, leap year, week 22. Wow. Figure that one out, because let's go ahead and go back and we look at these ones here. 77, 78, 79, and all we have is week 22, week 22, week 22, and 22, and my brother can vouch for this one. The number 22 and 222 has been coming up a lot for me just recently. And it's been coming up within the tarot card readings. Okay, so we continue on. Week 22, week 22, week 22, and then once again we're right back here at what? May 27th, common year, week 21, leap year, week 22. Now, is that not fun? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. Okay, why is May 27th a holiday? May 27th a holiday. Did you know this? that May 27th is a holiday. Originally known as Decoration Day, Memorial Day began after the Civil War as a way to honor Union soldiers who had died in the conflict. This holiday's name came from the tradition of decorating the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers. Okay? May 27th. Now, when was this tradition of observance from, and when did it change from Decoration Day to Memorial Day? Believe it or not, that occurred in 1966, 1 year before my birthday in 1967, in which, in that year of 1967, and on my birthday, that would have been the first observance of Memorial Day. Okay? But they changed. Once again, they're always messing with these so-called holidays and changing history. Decoration Day. Okay? Now it's Memorial Day. Let's continue on. So, what is May 27th known for? Okay, these are events or happenings that took place in the past on May 27th. The Golden Gate Bridge opened to pedestrian traffic in San Francisco, California, became an iconic symbol of the city and remains a marvel of engineering and design. On May 27th, 1935, Sir Robert Watson Watt received a patent for the first radar system. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, what happened on May 27th, 1998? Well, we have the Oklahoma City bombing, in which Michael Fortier is sentenced to 12 years in prison and fined $200,000 for failing to warn authorities about the terrorist plot. Okay, so let's continue on. Oh, hey, okay, let's go into the gods. What Greek god is May? Okay, and you can see Greek goddess Maia, the mother of Hermes, the messenger. Okay, Hermes, the messenger of the gods. And remember, Mercury is the ruling planet for Gemini, and Mercury was also a messenger. And what is Daryl Morgan through his content on his channel? A messenger, okay? The Romans named the month Maius, or whatever, after her, and it is associated with the springtime and the beginning of a new life. And this is something that has been coming about within the tarot readings of Gemini, is a new chapter. And basically, for me, the last chapter. Okay, so let's continue on. What else happened on May 27th, but now in 1983? The Benton fireworks disaster. An explosion at an unlicensed and illegal fireworks operation near Benton, Tennessee kills 11 and injures 1. The blast is heard within a radius of 20 miles, 32 kilometers. May 28th, the 9th G7 summit begins at Williamsburg, Virginia, in the United States. Okay. What else should have happened, or did happen on May 27th, 1994 now? The state of Washington conducts its last execution by hanging. I have a lot of neck issues, and I've talked about, the rollover of past life's history into current life. Okay? And I'm not going to go any further into that. So anyways, Charles Rodman Campbell, age 39, is put to death for the 1982 murders of 2 women and a child. Okay. Okay. And throughout history, well, what are also notable? On May 27th, several notable events have occurred throughout the history, including the opening of the Golden Gate Bridge in 1937, the sinking of the German battleship Bismarck in 1941, and the establishment of St. Petersburg by Peter the Great in 1703. Additionally, the first successful sea launch of a satellite took place on this day in 1999. Satellites, okay, so anyways, so what abilities do people born on the 27th have? Those born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th of any month possesses Mars energy marked by determination and charisma. Natural leaders born on these dates take charge in life with their bravery and strategic thinking. Their magnetic personalities and compassion drive them to achieve personal success while what? Helping others. And when people interfere with my good nature, caregiving, and helping of others, well, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I'll leave it at that. Okay? And this is where we come to the end. Because this is as far as I went as far into Memorial Day, Decoration Day, May 27th. So when you're celebrating this so-called holiday, this observance, that has been renamed as Memorial Day, and you might want to go into why. Why was that name changed? See, these are the dots that need to be connected. And this is the same process of understanding anything today. You have to make these connections. You have to go back into history and understand the facts. Now, why do I do this? Because I need to know why I am so special, if you will. I'm still on the pathway of understanding who and what I am, who and what I was in the past, and how it all relates to dates, and timelines, numbers. So what can we halfway expect on May 27th of this year? Will there be more events of things coming down? Because if you really look, we have a German battleship that went down. We have a dropping that causes death. Downwards, dropping. Okay? Now here we have something that goes up, but what goes up comes back down. Right? For everything that goes up, comes down. Again, a bombing, which brought a good portion of building down. Okay? Will the Golden Gate Bridge ever come down? What about radar systems? Were they? Yeah. You have to go into the past in order to dictate the future, because it tends to do so, regardless. But when it comes down to this right here, this is the flip side. The last time Memorial Day weekend occurred before May 27th was when? This year. Welcome to the flip side. And yeah, I will be coming out with a birth date anniversary celebration video, but it won't be all that celebratory when it does come out. But there will be more explanations, further details into that as we continue on. But this is crazy. And whether or not, you know, I will even be able to post this video, I'm not sure, because now I have to take out my SD card reader, my memory card reader, and throw my card from the camera into that reader, plug the reader into my phone, transfer files over to my phone, edit those files together or the recordings together to create a video so that we can bring you this Flipside presentation. And that is the beginning to my day, and we'll end it right there for now. Take care, and I hope you have enjoyed this little trip onto this flip side of reality. Thank you.